Casey Bowen joins me, Hanghold Capital Management. And Casey, on the subject of mutual funds, someone's out there shopping for mutual funds. Within a given mutual fund, how many different stocks are there or should there be?
Wow, great question. I think if a fund is really diversified, they probably need to have at least 50 to 60 holdings to be diversified. Recently, I saw a mutual fund. The fund is called Sequoia, and that particular mutual fund had under 40 holdings. In fact, one of the holdings in the last year or so held more than a 30% stake in one stock. It's a stock that's been in the news lately. It's called Valeant Pharmaceuticals.
Oh, yeah. They've been on a downswing.
Yeah, that's an understatement. The stock is down more than 80% from its 52-week high price because it has been in the news. It's expected to testify next month in front of the Senate Aging Committee relating to increasing prices on certain prescription drugs. So people are pretty unhappy with this company right now. Now, when I say this specific stock, this mutual fund, this is not a recommendation to buy or sell. Always do your research. But I think the issue, though, we find here with this particular Sequoia fund is historically in the past it had a very good track record, and I think oftentimes for investors, that's what they simply look at. They buy by performance only. They don't look under the hood. They're not even sure what they're buying. Is it a U.S. fund, a foreign fund? I think oftentimes it's just performance.
Was the fund doing that well because Valeant was on an upswing? If 30% of the fund was Valeant and they were doing quite well, that would have a lot to do with the success of that particular mutual fund.
Yeah, and I think that it was, but to give the fund some kudos as well. Longer term, I think part of the strategy has actually been a reasonable strategy that they've been looking to employ, and based on certain risk metrics, it appears that they weren't too out of line. But I think the risk metrics go out of the window when you have 30% in one stock, and I do think that contributed to some of the upswing because now, because of the downswing, when you look at the track record for the last 1, 3, and 5 year periods of time, it ranks in the 88th percentile or worse. In all those time periods, only when you go out to about 15 years do they suddenly have a great ranking. But for a lot of investors, they probably bought in recent years. They've probably not held the fund for a long period of time. So if they bought it based on performance, they might be struggling a little bit right now. You really need to understand what you're buying and understand the philosophy of the fund manager before you make a purchase.